At the beginning of the story, we see a boy named Alan playing basketball with old people. Then it starts raining. To avoid the rain, Alan goes into the hole of a tree and eats all the people playing with him. Bus stop per. He is struck by lightning on the tree from which Alan appears to have died. After Alan's death, we see him going somewhere in the underworld with a girl. Underworld means the world after death, employee use of the underworld. When she is told that you have died, she disguises herself as a doctor in a strange-looking office, or puts a token or a bracelet on his hand and scans the bracelet. She tries to find out his good or bad deeds, but doesn't find any trace, when another employee from the underworld says that his memory is gone due to lightning. Meanwhile, Alan finds some old documents related to his past life, which shows that in his past life, he was a cactus, a fish, a cicada, or many other things. After this, the employee watches a video in which the user is told that if he has done good deeds, he will be sent back to Earth in the form of a human being or any other living being, but if he has done bad deeds, then his soul will be sent back to Earth. If you go into hell, you will never return from this world. Whereas on the other side of the same office we see a girl, who was working in the office with an employee who was supposed to do the accounts after her death, whom she was not ready to tell that she was dead. Alan goes to look at her, but when she looks at Alan, she looks at him like a scream or asks me what you are looking at. I am dead, or you, that ugly boy, you are also dead, Alan. She can't bear to be insulted, so she passes by her and says, you are looking so funny, or your smell is also stinking. Meanwhile, we see a third dead man sitting in the vehicle whistling after seeing them. Hearing her whistle, Alan remembers his past when he was in the form of a different species. Then the employee of the underworld starts mocking him or starts asking him what he would like to do in the next life. She decides to use him as a snail but turns Alan into a human. That's why they decide to send him to another place, after which all his wounds are gone. Father, we see a girl on the earth who, sitting in the niche of the tree that Alan killed, says that I will never forget what you did to me. The vehicle was sent to the sky and a lot of strings were going from the sky to the ground. There were a lot of people on the vehicle. Then the second darling was not any other thing but a human being. On top of that there was also a girl with pink hair. Or everyone has bracelets on their hands. The girl with the pink ball is also named Pinky. Tabhi Vahan Perdue Log Hain Jo Ki God of Loves. Then, both of them tell them that if you have been made human in the second life too, then you will have to be made the God of Love before this. They will use a red-colored magical thread. Seeing this, it is told that this red thread will create love for one another among two people. After this, the God of Love trains people to become gods of love, so that he can spread love among two people on earth. All people practice by throwing rings on their fingers so that when they go to earth they can bind the zodiac sign of love in people's hands. By throwing rings, Alan or Pinky's wedding also happens. Then a man meets the God of Love. Where did this red thread coming out of the ground come from? But they tell that it was made by the weaver girl, who could meet her love only once in a year, but one day was enough for her. What would have happened is that she would have eaten a lot of bread, after which she would have sacrificed herself and wished for the happiness of all the people she loved, or she would have turned into a cloud of red color, or she would have had two beautiful threads coming out of her. Now we look at God who keeps talking to us. Then how did the spring come out without the band? Then the souls of some bad people buried in the ass seem to be torn. The ghost head has run away. The ghost head has run away. These people are then jinxes. The soul neither got the power to feel nor had the power to be born again. On the other side we see Pinky. She seems to be possessed by the god of revenge who gives people a second life so that they can take revenge on their enemies. She gives him a flag which he uses to appear as his boyfriend, but then the Alan vehicle came and threw that flag away from us. But then a ghost head appears on the vehicle, or the head of the Lord of Clouds is captured and a bracelet is taken out from its trunk and worn, or then the vehicle enters a mirror. Now we see a baby on the ground who is brushing his teeth, but then he sees a bug in the mirror. He starts to see the ghost head which has taken over the baby's body. Now we see the second day of training to become God of Love. Jahan Love of God tells us to find two people and find a partner for each other, or those people who do not find their partner. We are back in the factory. Will you send me a second soul? I hear that everyone is searching for their own partner. But no one met Pinky or Alan. Pinky says, please apologize to me, I will not make you my partner. Alan says, I am also cute, you can tell me well. Then the female love of death says to pass you quickly, that is too much. Why is there anything left? After both of them immediately choose each other, Pinky introduces herself to us, but Alan realizes that he doesn't remember his name, so she tells him, why are you here? Charcoal Bolungi. After this, all the people are sent to the earth by making them invisible to create love among the people. Those people who have come to the earth, first of all throw a party or then go for their work. They are the two parts of the magical string. By tying it on the fingers of different people, it creates love for each other in their hearts. Which Buddha is young, which is male, which is female. Many people have fallen in love with each other, due to which one more pearl of their bracelet appears white. Now we have seen the Kutch dacoits of 500 years ago who had killed more than 1,000 people. That is why the king's people started killing them, because their king did not kill the men against the king's army. When he decided that all his people would conceive and he would be born again, all of them would be born as brothers. Now we see the child in whom the spirit of the ghost head has entered, and he goes to a match shop, and then the ghost head appears in front of the child and he says to the woman that he has been born again 16 times in the last 500 years. It's over, but you've forgotten it all. But I haven't forgotten it. After that, the ghost's head is left only to use us and enters the woman's room. We see Pinky's boyfriend Tommy, who is very happy to kill her. Or he was telling his friends that he had killed us and he had messed up my mind and I could not make him a second girlfriend. But then Pinky or Alan go to the place where her son is lying in the sun. She tells Alan to take the charcoal from the fire that has been crushed by me, after which both of them come together and tie a magical string on the finger of Pinky's boyfriend. Or the second one and his friend Scooty. Then when Tommy comes out and his eyes fall on Scooty, he starts touching Scooty in a very inappropriate way, and then he starts forcing himself with the exhauster. The owner of Scooty or the people driving the vehicle stop him from doing so. But he was not going to stop, he had completely ruined the poor exhauster. Pinky or Alan laugh a lot after seeing him doing this, but this makes him lose his mind again. Now we see the scene of the next day where Pinky is trying to remind Alan of his memory, but despite a lot of efforts, Pinky is unable to remember him. Then while both of them are talking, then a dog starts barking in front of Alan, which reminds him of the time 15 years ago when Kutch Badmash was troubling the dog and then he saved the dog's life. This, since she herself was my husband. When she remembers all this, she cries a lot. The dog starts licking her, then she starts looking for me. I come to the car or starts asking her, where are you going? Then I feel so worried for you. Looking at me, he again remembered the place where he had met me for the first time in his class. Alan had already asked me with his glance that he would marry me, but I refused. After that, when he fell on my back, whenever he met me while eating, he used to ask me this question: will you marry me? That day I had saved Kurumi when she was dying, but by and by both of them had grown older, but still Alan had not stopped asking her why she would marry me. I have not used it every time, I replied. Pure Seher came to know that Alan wants to marry me. Alan remembers everything that happened and he is very upset to remember it. Now we are watching flashback scenes. Actually, I also ate with him on the days of Alan's death. That day Alan took out a thread from my scarf and after tying it around his finger he tied another thread on my hand. Or she had also confirmed to us that she would marry us, but then Alan was struck by lightning, or I went away from the lightning and fell, or that thread was also broken by the lightning. After Alan's death, I cried a lot because she had been with him for 15 years. She had tried to convince me to get married, but she also loved me. Most of the time, I have taken Kurumi with me or used to see her as Alan's friend. She is crying. Pinky also becomes emotional after listening to her story. Then both of them went to her house following me. Jahan gave food to Kurumi. Then when she went to the bathroom she started showing her mouth to Alan and tried to use it from behind, but she didn't know which one to use. I can't see this power. We see the scene of the next day. I was sitting at her shop and was hitting Alan's photo with a rubber band. Alan was also sitting near her there, and she told me that you have found out that I have become the god of love. Whoever ties a string between them, both of them fall in love. Then I started feeling like Alan, looking at all the love of God who had come there. All the people here tied the main string on my hand then, or the one who called everyone Pinky, whose Pinky Alan liked, or after meeting me, she didn't feel like me anymore. Alan was trying to stop all the gods from tying a string on my finger, but meanwhile a love god tied a string on his hand. But his ring broke due to the trap. Seeing this, Senior Love of God says that I have seen this for the first time in 50 years, this has never happened till today, after which another god again wears the same string, but his string also gets tied one after the other. God can try, but no one's string can be tied. Those people also have a string tied on him, but still no one's string is tied on him. Now we see a man sitting in a casino playing a game. Then the woman selling the goods comes to the vehicle in which Ghost Head Spirit has entered. She says to the man that 500 years have passed or he is still alive. I am a loser. She took out a needle from her neck and inserted it into the man's neck, due to which the spirit of the head ghost entered his body, just like the bandits who killed more than 1,000 people 500 years ago, the ghost head of them all. The Sardar was the one who saved these fish and sold them, or the one who played poker 500 years ago. His beloved was the companion of the ghost head who took his loyalty then. But all of them together betrayed the ghost head or killed him because they had sworn to always be with him. They had done so at the behest of the king. If they did not do so, the king would save them. Like his companions, he killed everyone along with the ghost head. That is why the ghost head came out of the world after 500 years and started killing all the people after 500 years. The casino guy killed the woman selling the fish and then drove away. Now we see the scene of the underworld where Yamraj or the two gods are talking to each other. He tells Yamraj that even when a girl is tied with a string of love, she is being trapped, she is using exhausters only. I also tell about the incident on which Yamraj starts laughing. Then another god comes there and tells Yamraj that this time the ghost head has killed a woman. While Pinky, on the other hand, is trying to connect the string directly to the source of love, or starts tying me to it, Alan was trying to stop her from doing so. Pinky says that you want to see me happy so you have to do this. Then I say that I don't know who will be with you. Here we got to know one thing, or it was that I could see Alan or all the love gods present there, or the sun power. I say, who do you want me to love? Someone else? Alan is very surprised. She tells me that I have seen people who have died after being struck by lightning or sun Shakti. I have seen you for the first time with Kurumi. I want to kiss you, I want to kiss you, but if I did that to you, I would probably never see you again. Alan hugs her and hugs her, both of them start crying. Then I tell her that Kurumi is sick, she has cancer, she is not going to survive for many days. Then Kurumi also comes to the place. Alan's ghost seems to be with her. Whenever I talk to us, she uses the second log to understand why she is crazy. She can't see Alan then, but Pinky seems to be the biggest of all because of whom Alan talks to her. He did nothing or did nothing. Alan had come to his back and said that his picture would not even be taken in the bathroom. After seeing my actions, his father had considered him crazy. Then when all the gods are living in the underworld, then Pinky says to Alan that the charcoal should steal your father's picture and give it to him. Alan says that you did not see that thousands of strings were tied on it, but all the nets were gone. She is here only for me. Pinky says that if this is not possible, then you are still alive or you are dead. You are my partner, that is why you should stay with me. After this she gets down from the lift and walks away, or along with him. All the gods go to the underworld, but he comes back to me from heaven. I say, where is your partner? I think she likes you. And then this classmate of mine or Alan's comes to me, who was a vet or was also treating Kurumi there. He tells me to look. Father, Alan is about to die. That's why you should forget about him and spend your life in prime age. His son Alan says, wow son, you have turned out to be Aston's snake. I tell Alan to shut up. Dr. Me per full line Mar Rahatha. Where Pinky Jakar said to a god that my partner does not love me but loves a human being. On the other side, a ghost head appears near me, or it seems to cry after seeing it, as if 500 years ago, I was the main team leader, or he had cut off his head and separated it from the body, whereas ghost head used that's a lot. Ghost head attacks me, but Alan catches the ghost head. Alan asks him who he is, and then she says that 500 years ago he had betrayed me by saying my essence. While driving, Alan saw that there was a ghost head on the bus. Shaman approached the bus and saw that the ghost head was entering inside him. Ghost head was very powerful and it seems to throw Alan away or to kill me, but Alan seems to save me with the help of the doctor. A god comes from underground on the Tabhi vehicle and says to the ghost head that you will have to come with me, because he says that in 500 salons you have given peace to the souls of these shepherds and brought them back to the second life. They have forgotten me. But in my main father I never forgot this logo. Before God can kill the man in our casino, ghost head runs away from the vehicle. God came to know that Alan had broken the rules of the underworld by falling in love with a living human being, so he used him or his partner Pinky to create a place for him in the world just like him. Log Kai then, after which Alan says sorry to Pinky, whose face also gave him punishment. While on the other side, I am not seeing Alan anywhere, so I am trying to find where to go. Then I meet Kurumi, who has already died. She tells me to go near Alan. Alan will take good care of you, or don't worry about me. She is very busy covering her body. I try to get out of the vehicle, but again and again I keep falling down. When the ghost head inserts itself into my head or seems to use it, my condition has become very bad. It says to me that I loved you as my wife, but you betrayed me. If you I really wanted to ask you to give it to me. On the other side, at the place where Pinky or Alan falls, a drop of water falls on the vehicle from above, after which both of them collect that amount and come to the spring. They see the shape of the spring. Kurumi's spirit has reached the vehicle. A small amount was thrown for the donors. Just after the spring of both of them, Kurumi tells them that my life is in danger, after which both of them come back to Earth. The ghost head was about to kill me, but then God comes in the vehicle. Or if doctors reach the underworld, they become friends by meeting both of them. She wanted to kill me, but Alan did not want to be killed by the ghost who killed his head, due to which his soul went into hell. That is why Alan started crying a lot. While in the underworld, the ghosts who are laden with the head god's hands were saying that they were asking Yamraj to give them freedom, but Yamraj could not give them freedom. Then no one was able to do anything to them. But the dead head steals the bracelet of the revenge god, which gives him immense power or makes both gods' healers reach the earth or destroys them. To save God, Alan inserts a rod into Ghost Head's head, which shows a flashback scene where he remembers that 500 years ago he was a cicada, but he turned back. That's why he made the cut. I started eating, but when the sight of the ghost head appeared on me, I had to save myself. When Alan remembers this, he shouts and starts telling this story to Yamraj, after which Yamraj forgives the ghost head and rests his soul. But when his soul finds peace, he wishes that he will not be born again. His existence will be destroyed so that he can no longer bear this much pain. After the ghost head's soul finds peace, everything seems to be fine, but I was killed by the ghost head, so his existence had also ended. That's when Alan remembered the story of the Weaver girl. He sacrificed himself to make another lover happy. Alan takes out a string from his heart. This string is used for the main part of his heart and gives it to Pinky. Pinky takes that string and connects us to the doctor, after which I came back alive, or Alan's soul also got destroyed and reached Yamraj, but at that time Yamraj became so angry that Alan continues in the process of rebirth, After this, Pinky is also sent to Purnajanam. After the days of Kutch, we have seen both the children fighting while sitting in the clinic of Mine or her husband. From there Batan we come to know that they are the reincarnations of Ellen or Pinky.